The rumors are a-flying, Jets fans. Let the season of smoke begin. So what's up, everybody? This is GreenBean back with another video. Interesting one from my perspective. I just love this time of year. I love chewing on the bone. I love seeing what's real and what's not real. The truth is that we have one of the more active rumor mills in the entire NFL. Outside of our own beat, they get into it with Jets fans. Why? Because we're the most responsive, reactive fan base in the entire league. Nobody gets quite as into it with you as Jets fans, so they love to tell us what they're hearing. They love to try to see if they can press a button and activate us, and this year is going to be no different. In fact, I'm bracing for a more robust rumor season than usual. Before we get into all that, I want to remind you about the contest. We are done. We are just single digits away from the contest closing. All you have to do to get into it is hit that little subscribe button right here. Head over to Full-Time Coaster Tour, my other YouTube channel, where I document all of our travels and all the roller coasters we're trying to take our kids on out here. Full-Time Coaster Tour, hit subscribe there, and you are in the contest. If you'd like an additional entry, go over to my Instagram, GreenBeanjetsfan, and follow me there. What do you win? T-shirts from the GreenBeanjetsfan.com merch store, as well as a grand prize winner will also receive a Manscaped Ultra Smooth Pack and Green Bean stickers. Guys, this is the last chance. We are single digits away from the goal. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I can't wait to give this stuff out to well-deserving supporters like yourself. I just can't wait to do it. And thank you for all the incredible support. I also want to tell you about my Patreon. If you like what's going on here, we work on something called the value for value system. If you find value from my content, maybe you'll see fit to add some value from your end. You can do that on my Patreon. 3 tiers, $5, $10, and $25. And there's all sorts of additional content, classic game watch parties, positional breakdowns, all kinds of stuff. And even the $25 tier can get a guest host spot on the Monday Night Mock. All kinds of great stuff. It's really exciting. And I thank all who are already involved. And you'll see their names at the end of this video. But guys, if you want to get involved, the link is right there in the top of this description. So thank you. Let's get into it. What are we hearing? The rumors are a-flying. And I watch the Jets fans. I watch my other content creators. I just keep my eyes on everybody around and I watch how we react. I read Twitter. I look at Jetnation, and people lose their minds over every single rumor. Now, should we? Maybe we should. Maybe there's some truth to the stuff that we're hearing. But if you paid attention to the last few years, especially since Joe Douglas has been here, you can actually look and see how much has been right that's been said. Are these rumors true? Do they have any weight? I don't know, guys. Last year was a pretty interesting one because there was very little that they got right, especially coming out of our own beat. Yeah, they got Zach Wilson. That was probably the most telegraphed move from the Joe Douglas era, but we didn't know Jamal Adams was getting traded. We didn't know about Sam Darnold getting traded. Tell me which beat reporter said that the Jets were going to draft 2 safeties and convert them to linebackers and then take 3 late-round cornerbacks. Not one. There wasn't one. Not a single reporter got that right. So when they start coming out with this stuff, you got to know how to take it with a grain of salt. Again, I gave you some clues in a previous video how to kind of navigate the rumor season, and I'll put that little, I don't know what side it's on. It's whether you here or here. I'll put a link to that video right here. Maybe it'll help you out and navigate through all this baloney, these rough waters that we are on right now, this crazy sea of rumors and smokescreens. So it's really interesting, right? There are ways to look at this. When you hear something like, there was the word scuttlebutt used by one of our beat reporters. He said, the scuttlebutt is, So what could the scuttlebutt mean? Doesn't sound exactly rock solid now, does it? I don't recall the word scuttlebutt being used for anything substantial ever. Okay, that's just me. Maybe you have something. Let me know if the word scuttlebutt has ever led to anything. Tell me in the comments. I'm dying to hear it. But so the scuttlebutt is The Jets are going to focus on offensive line, defensive line, safety, and wide receiver in the draft. That's it. Those are the 4 positions we're going for in the draft. Interesting. There's a couple positions missing from that. Let's talk about tight end. Let's talk in one of the stronger tight end classes in recent memory. Let's talk about linebacker. What about those fellas? So you see, we have 9 picks and we only talked about 4 positions. Look, and the truth is, when you speak in such vague terms, it's not too hard to get close, right? It's like saying, hey, I'm going to hit the dartboard. I'm going to hit it. I'll bet you $20 I hit the dartboard. Yeah, I bet you can. I bet you can do that. Now, the double bullseye, that's a little different. Get it trip 20, that's a little different. But you can do certain things that are a little bit wide. There are only so many positions on the team. You say 4 of them, chances are that's what's going to happen. But what do you think about that? What if it is true? Let's for a second say if this stuff is true. Let's say that the Jets are going to focus on offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, and safety. Well, let's go back to front. Safety. The word is on the street, even with a couple guys like Jordan Battle going back to school, even with that taking place, this is said to be one of, if not the strongest and deepest safety class since 2002. That's 20 years. So it would be wise to at least consider getting a safety or 2 from this draft class, right? Makes sense. So I hope that there is validity to that statement. Let's talk about wide receiver. Well, we have a guy named Denzel Mims, 6'3", 4.3 speed, the whole thing. Had a decent, maybe even better than decent rookie year. Last year, it was like he was a ghost, a shell of his former self. For whatever the reasons, it doesn't seem like Denzel Mims is going to be able to, or is part of the plan to be in this equation for very long, right? Whether it's his abilities or the coaching staff's opinion, doesn't matter. It's going to be an uphill battle for that guy to climb back into the good graces of the New York Jets organization. And that said, a lot of us, myself included, are big Denzel Mims fans, supporters and all that. So it's a shame, but that would leave a major hole. We have guys like Braxton Berrios, Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole as free agents. We haven't heard too much about any real interest. Jets fans think that the Jets should re-sign Berrios, but we don't know. Maybe Berrios is asking for $10 million, and we don't know. We don't know what's going on. So the Jets have more free agents than they do guys that are locked down. Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, those types of guys. We only have a few of those guys. So it would make sense that wide receiver is on the docket for this year. Even if it's just re-signing Crowder and Berrios. I mean, even if that's the route you want to go, something has to happen because we don't have enough wide receivers in the house. Fair enough? Okay, let's talk about defense and offensive line together. Let's just put it all into one little chewy ball. Let's do that. We've heard both Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas talk about the trenches ad nauseum. Let's even bring up a Robert Saleh statement that he made while at the Senior Bowl. He said, when talking about the defensive line, it's the one group that makes everyone better on defense, and it's the one group that can take away everybody on offense. Guys, that sounds like Robert Saleh thinks very highly of the importance of having a solid defensive line. And we know that he did, in fact, have a very solid defensive line in San Francisco where he had so much success. So we still have guys like Quinnen Williams. We have Sheldon Rankins under contract. We have guys like Bryce Huff, Carl Lawson coming off the injury. We had high expectations for him. But the rotation, right? The rotation. He wants to be able to rotate guys in and keep them fresh 100% of the time. And it just so happens that the strength of the early portion of the draft where the Jets happen to have 2 picks in the top 10, the strength happens to be edge rusher. Now, the offensive side of that, where's the strength? Tackle. So if you're going to do that, it does make sense. I would lean towards the defense up top. Because you can get offensive linemen all throughout the draft. There are going to be plenty of turnkey starters in the second, third, fourth round. They're going to be there. It happens every single year. We just got to know to find the right guys. Let's say we use the top 4 pick on one of the defensive edge rushers. Let's say the rumor about the Detroit Lions falling in love with Malik Willis is true. Maybe they use their second overall pick on Malik Willis. Skiddly ding dang. Maybe the Jaguars go and take Evan Neal with the first pick. Wagadoodle. Now what happens? Now we have Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau sitting there for the Texans at pick 3. Now, what do? Either way, one of those guys is sliding to us, and we can take care of what Salah's talking about right here. All kinds of stuff can happen. But the truth of it is that we have seen and heard both Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh make intense claims about the importance of the trenches. It's music to my ears, man. Really it is. Music to my ears. Get some edge rushers. Make sure our offensive line is one of the better offensive lines in football, and everything else is going to get easier from there. So what's another rumor? Another rumor is that the Jets are going to focus on offense this year. Offense, huh? Well, that makes sense because Joe Douglas so far has used all of his premium draft picks on the offense. So you have the data to support such thinking. Now, what could it mean from Joe Douglas? We've talked about this before. Nobody knows what's going on with Joe Douglas. We're using words like scuttlebutt to say what we think is going to happen at the Jets, okay? That's the best you can get. I can't get any closer to a firm report than the word scuttlebutt. So when you're using the word scuttlebutt, chances are you don't have any real solid information, right? So when things start to come out, like one of the guys we're hearing that the Jets are falling in love with is wide receiver out of USC, Drake London. Fantastic. I'd love to nab Drake London. 6'3", the whole thing. He could probably be what we expected and hoped Mims would be, right? He's another shot at that position. But what could it mean if Joe Douglas is allowing that information out? We've talked about this. It's intentional more times than not. Now, does that mean he doesn't like the player? Probably not. But what could it mean that the Jets are actually pushing this information out there? They're pushing out there offense. We love offense. We love Drake London. We love Evan Neal. We love Icky. That's who we love. That's the guys. Here's the scuttlebutt. You want the scuttlebutt? Here's the scuttlebutt. We like Drake London. Yeah. Tell everybody. Tell your friends. Why would the Jets be doing that? Why would the Jets be pushing out there that they're going offense? Well, number one, it could be because they're going to go offense and they love Drake London. There's that. The other side is they want you to think that they're going to go offense and that they want Drake London. Now, why would they do that? Why would they want you to think that? Well, maybe, just maybe, they want the guys behind them to think that they're going to take their guy and that they are open for business. Hey, give Joe Douglas a call and say, hey, man, I really want that number 10 overall pick. I'm willing to give you pick 57 and next year's second to move up 10 spots or whatever it is. I'll give you next year's first and pick 57. You like that? So we get another season with 2 firsts and we get 3 seconds this year. Ooh, okay. That's where Trey McBride and Zion Johnson might live. The early part of the second round. Ooh. So do you see what I'm saying? There is purpose to all this stuff. Now, let me just say my opinion. My opinion is that we're just getting started here. My opinion is that whatever is floating around has purpose. Now, would I hate if they went offense? Nope. As a matter of fact, my Monday podcast, Greenbean's Jets Pod, is going to be the argument to go offense with the first 2 picks we have. It's going to be like, okay, here's the argument for that side of things. Last week, we did the argument for the defensive side of the ball. I'll put that video right here. Here's a link for you if you haven't seen it. But this week on Monday, we're going to do the argument for using those picks on offense. And there is a legitimate argument to be made. So I think Joe Douglas is pushing out information so he can see the reaction, so he can get people to think what he wants, and therefore more accurately be able to get to where he wants to go in the draft, in the offseason. What do you think, Jets fans? Can you see? Can you see through the smoke? Can you see it? Can you smell it? It's out there. Be careful what you buy into. The scuttlebutt is happening. What's the scuttlebutt, everybody? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Where are you with this one? Are you freaking out? Are you freaking out? Are you mad? Are you happy? What's your take? Let me know in the comments. Have a great day, everybody. And as always, go Jets!